Calvin's vision coming in was to change the culture of prison. Listening to the various responses and statements, excuse me, this presents an opportunity for men to become who they were created to be originally. We talk about paradigm shifts. We talk about perspectives. We talk about best practices. We talk about collaboration. My two daughters want to go to college now because they've seen me graduate. One wants to become an anesthesiologist. She's studying microbiology and chemistry and anatomy, and she's calling on me to help. I can assist. Another daughter has seizures, so she's limited in what she might be able to do, but she wants to become a dental hygienist, and she's excited. She saw our graduation recently, and it was live streamed, and she said, "Dad, I can't tell you how proud." So, let me get this together, excuse me. So, Aristotle says excellence is an art won by training and habituation. And this training that Dr. Chaffee, our president from both Calvin University and Calvin Theological Seminary, our director, Ms. Washington, our warden, our deputy directors, and so on and so forth, is presenting a collaboration that allows men to walk into purpose, to walk into possibilities, to consider concepts like pragmatic considerations. And so in short, I'll say this. These are some of the guys I get a chance to work with. And again, I apologize as a representative of the graduate, first graduate cohorts, Calvin University in general. I want to say thank you guys for the buy-in, skin in the games, the willingness, the openness that you guys are demonstrating. We're in this to change some things. When you've been a part of the problem, if you man up, you might want to be a part of the solution. So here are a few things that, as a graduate working as either a TA or a mentor, I get the privilege to see. One of the things I challenge guys to consider is, what does it mean to stay focused? And a part of that intention is to get people to think about, am I aware of how I'm behaving? Am I aware of how I'm thinking? You can't tell them this is a metacognitive practice because you have to bring it to the level to communicate with your audience. But here's some responses that I've gotten. What comes to mind when a person stays focused? This is one individual. I've asked all of these guys for their permission to share this. One guy said to go straight forward critically, and to work hard and to take no shortcuts. So I'm trying to contain myself when I get something like that from an individual you've worked with for a while, and to see him begin to take possibilities and begin to grab at purpose and to begin to realize I have some internal agency versus external impossibility. And so you begin to realize, where's that control at? And now you begin to motivate individuals, hopefully, to take an intrinsic motivation versus an extrinsic motivation. Another guy with regard to goals said this: my goals is to become a great husband to my wife. Another guy said my goal is to be a good reader and do well in math. Another individual said my goal is to be a good father to my children. Guy made a personal request. He said, I'd like to sit down once a week and talk about 30 minutes about my problems. If not, if you can't do 30 minutes, could you do 15 minutes? Another individual said, I've got two goals. I want to learn mathematics, and he said, I want to go on to become a theoretical mathematician. Don't myself know what a theoretical mathematician is, but we've begun a process of working on algebra and geometry. So now he can tell you how to figure out circumference. He can tell you what the radius versus a diameter is. He can tell you angles with reference to geometric figures and shapes and the Pythagorean theorem and things of that nature. So we're moving and progressing towards things that gives him a sense of purpose, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of value. And that's exciting work. One other guy on his way home said, Potts, one of the things I want to do is I want to learn how to stay consistent. I want to own my own business one day. I want to stay focused. That was a homage to my constant challenge to guys. What does it look like to stay focused? And he said, I don't want to relapse into my old ways. So as a mentor, we get an opportunity to hopefully touch lives, hopefully to educate, hopefully to inspire. We place ourselves at a position where we say we have to take ownership and be responsible to become an example, a model, an exemplar, and we do so. I'll share this lastly. One guy, Caucasian gentleman from the suburbs, said, Potts, I don't usually interact the way we're interacting, but I don't care, which, says a lot in this environment. He says, what is being focused to me? This is his words. He's given my permission to share this. What is it being focused to me, and how will it help me? A few things he pointed out was working to go to NA, working to go to AA, clean and sober activities, reading, thinking things that I can do to become better, and asking for help. One of the things we realize in this education, which is rigorous and quite comprehensive, is that men typically have an issue with asking for help, and that's particularly men incarcerated. And so for him to, of his own volition, say, Potts, as I get out, I will attempt to ask for help when I need it. I will attempt to engage in supportive relationships. I will attempt to go to AA and NA. And he's saying not what I hope to do, he's saying what I plan to do. So he's thinking active and agency. And the last thing he said to me was with regard to red flags. So he has a heroin addiction, and my awareness of how that's impacting opioids and everything is impacting our youth in the world. This individual may step out and have some tools, some abilities, some encouragement, some resources to avoid that entire route and affect others in his circle in a better way. So the things that we get an opportunity to do, and this is just in a cognitively challenged unit, I get an opportunity to serve as a TA. So I served with Dr. Chaffee for an antiquity class on Old Testament theology, to begin to talk about Anselm and to look at critical analysis with regard to literature, to get an opportunity to lecture. It's amazing. So in a nutshell, my perspective is what Aristotle says. Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. And this education is provided the type of training. Now we're getting an opportunity as graduates to go out and serve. And that repetitious exercise and opportunity develops that habituation. And we're impacting lives, and not to mention outward lives, our own lives. So we have value, we have self-concept increase, a strong sense of purpose. I can't stress what that feels like to get up in the morning and know I have a very practical, a very useful possibility to touch lives. And everything that you guys have said, to be able to identify silently and to be able to follow and track with concepts and ideas is tremendous. And I'm a long and determined sin, so I may never go home. But if I can serve in this capacity to help others not make the mistakes I've made, that's when.
Thank you, brother.